Hello, everybody, and welcome to So Mindful Crafts. This is our second podcast, and I'm here today with Courtney.
Hello.
Kelvin.
Hello.
And Rowan.
Hello.
So, hello, everybody. It's been a week now, hasn't it, since we did our...
And a lot's happened.
It has.
A lot has happened.
Yes.
I just want to say, hello, Rowan. Welcome. Well, I say welcome back, but this is actually your first time on the podcast.
As far as the public's concerned, I've never been here before in my life, yeah.
So, I'm going to do this a bit later, but yeah, introduce yourself, because no one knows who you are.
I'm Rowan. I'm the long-haired dude you've probably seen milling about the shop.
Long-haired dude.
Yeah.
The long-haired dude.
The long-haired dude who can't grow beard.
Related to Cousin It from
exactly.
Adam's family.
I'm also the chap who's recording this podcast. And we'll edit it and all that.
Right.
Fun stuff.
Yeah,
Chief editor.
Behind the scenes guy.
I'm the behind-the-scenes dude, yeah.
It'll be on camera though, so it's not exactly.
Yeah, I'm on camera, but yeah,
That's the difference now. We're obviously trialing it out now with a video side of things, rather than it just been audio now, we can see what we're doing.
Generally speaking, if you see something that I've done, I'm not on it. I've done it.
But that's hilarious now. Now, to think about it like this, we have to be very careful what we actually do now. Never mind what we say.
Exactly.
Mick's got to keep his clothes on.
Yeah. No
one's coming in here topless.
Yeah. So, so a lot's happened, hasn't it, since our last podcast. We've had a fun-filled week. We've had, obviously, all our workshops that we've had every day, which have just been incredibly busy. Our men-only group's been Thursday night. That were really busy on Thursday night. Was it last Thursday where we actually all went out for a meal?
We went for a curry.
Yeah, we did. So, actually, we had quite a few of us on the Thursday night group. Then when we finished, 10 of us went over for a curry afterwards. So, it was like 10 o'clock at night by the time I got home. It was just a really long
That sounds really nice.
But it was a good night, though, weren't it?
Top notch.
Yeah, it was good. And then obviously we had on Friday was the Pride of Edlington Awards, which
it was.
You guys were the compares.
Oh wow, yeah.
And what do you think to that? What did you reckon being a compare then? On an event like that, because there were 100 odd people there.
Oh yeah, it was an experience for sure, because obviously we had members of the council, we had the mayor of Doncaster there, we had
education
community groups such as yourself and other public people in there. So there was quite a mix of different people. So it was kind of like,
I think it was all the organisations, Edlington, weren't it? Helping Hands, Eco Centre, Granger Centre. You guys should know because you were the one who had the list of everything.
Sir Thomas Wharton was there.
Sir Thomas Wharton.
There was another school there as well. I'm feeling
was it Victoria?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, there was quite a lot of people to that. We didn't really have a list of organisations. We just had a list of how the night was going to run and who was presenting it. That's all.
Because you guys already knew where we stood on that.
We did. Yeah.
I must. So even when we were doing our first podcast, you actually was sat there and knew that we were, got that, for that award, with it. So it was which was a total shock to me.
No, it was amazing. Yeah, so
you did well. I'll tap my hat off to you there, guys.
So for everybody who's not aware, who was listening to the podcast, So Mindful Crafts actually won Business Making a Difference in Edlington as an award on the Friday night, which we hosted and delivered. And Mick and the team were absolutely over the moon with that. Because you were just saying recently, weren't you, how you thought, maybe the place wasn't getting enough recognition for all the work that you do and everything. And then lo and behold,
I think
it turns out people are seeing it.
Yeah, what I always sort of say is I always feel that we're under radar a little bit for other organisations and things going off around here, rather than, you made a good point, I think, when I was talking to you, and you said about the community know way more about us and what we do, rather than some of the other organisations around us, if you know what I mean. So I felt sometimes we've gone a little bit, sort of undetected on what we do, when realistically, as you guys know here now, and like today's been, we're rammed here all the time. All our workshops always are filling up, straight away. It's always a hive of activity here all the time, and and if anything, we're getting busier and busier, and we bring in so many people from out of Edlington into Edlington who never would have come in before. So you're not looking for recognition for a pat on the back as such, but it's just sometimes it just makes you feel a little bit better when
it's all worthwhile.
Yeah, so that I think with that awards, it really did come at a time that I think we needed to sort of almost give that big pat on back, if you know what I mean.
Was it a case within yourself that you felt like, because I need the recognition. Not that
Yeah.
you need it, but
I don't need the recognition.
It's nice
for me.
to have it.
It's you have to think here. Like I said when I were at that awards, it were like we can only do here what we do through the volunteers and the staff. Do you know what I mean? And everybody that helps us. So it's not an I thing; it's a team thing.
It's very much a team
and yeah. So
effort,
to me, when I'm talking about getting that little bit of recognition and things like that, it's not recognition for me. I don't care about my side of things. I'm just doing my job. It's the recognition for the team and people who are all involved in what we do, and even the participants who come along and how it helps them. So it's that the whole of it. If you understand what I mean. So.
Yeah.
Well,
so
speaking of the Pride of Edlington, like there was a lot of different CICs out there actually, and I was quite surprised because when I was there, I was like, "Oh right, well, I didn't know this charity was about. I didn't know this. They were doing things like this out there, like the with the kids. You know, there were two young lads there. If you remember, you introduced the award.
Oh,
the young,
picking.
Yeah.
the young stars.
Yeah, young
Yes.
stars. And
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize personally that all that was going on. So I was quite shocked and surprised when we did these hosting awards that there was so much in Edlington alone.
Yeah.
So
It was a really good thing, weren't it? It was an eye opener. I know Rowan sat there now, and we're all talking away about that night because Rowan weren't there, so obviously he's you'll
Sorry,
not know
mate.
what.
Out the loop.
No, but you know we're
worries.
talking now about stuff with, but you weren't there on the night, were you? So it's
By all means.
Basically, we're just saying there was a range of different things at this award ceremony. There was people, obviously, like So Mindful Crafts, where we are. There was people who were helping the elderly. There were, all the way down to young stars, like we say, who were maybe 7, 8, 9 years old that are doing litter picking around the local
They were a
area,
good range,
helping
weren't
out,
they?
Yeah,
things
very
like
good
that.
range,
So,
By the way, big shout out to Thomas Wharton as well doing the singing.
oh yeah, the two students.
that was-
yeah,
that
you've
was
got to
amazing.
mention that.
was amazing.
They were incredible, weren't they? I can't remember the names on it.
There was
but that young girl and that boy.
Talou and Chloe.
Talou,
Is that how it worked?
Yeah.
Talou and Chloe.
Yeah.
God, you've got a good memory. I couldn't have remembered any of that, but I do remember how amazing they were.
They were really nervous to start with, and then they just sort of came into their own when it got to the chorus.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
It were brilliant. And also, I always get a name wrong. I always call her Emma, and I know it's not Emma. It's who sang, who works for...
Oh, Mel.
Mel. That's it. Why do I always call her Emma? I call her Emma all the time. It's not Emma, it's Mel. But she sang
brilliant.
a few
Yeah,
songs.
yeah.
And she were amazing, weren't she?
Mel, if you're listening, we have a studio, by the way. Plug in.
Me and Courtney just looked at each other and went, "Yeah, let's get her in the studio."
They're in the
But-
studio.
Get a
Well, that's
record
it.
deal.
I mean, obviously, moving on from us now, we don't want this to be all about So Mindful Crafts, but with you guys, you touched on the first podcast we did that, you guys are from Elevated Excellence.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I think, let people who are listening now know a bit more about Elevated Excellence, because the idea about this podcast, as we're doing them every week,
Awareness.
we're going to be having different people coming on to talk about what they do, letting people know what's going on in areas. So anybody who's wanting to come on to it to talk about what they're doing, then, just drop us a message and, we'll gladly get you on and talk about what it is you want to talk about. But let's go to you guys, you know what I mean? Let's
to us.
talk about what you guys do and what you guys are.
Spotlight.
Here we go.
So, as a company, we are Elevated Excellence Education, CIC, but we also run the studio side as well. What we look at doing is mixing, mastering, DJ lessons. Eventually, we'll be podcasting, and we will look at expanding.
Eventually, you're podcasting now.
All right. Okay, at our building, but also doing it here as well.
I know what you meant, yeah.
So we deliver workshops, various workshops for DJ skills, music production for all ages. We do under 16 workshops for people looking to look at a career path that maybe they've not looked into, or even if they want to do it as a hobby. And then we also do 16 plus workshops for people who want to look at doing it as a career, but want to look at the employment side, actually getting a job in the industry, and we help them with pathways and various connections that way. And then we also do the one-to-one tutoring at our studio, which is based in Bentley in Doncaster. And we do recording for artists that want to come in, i.e. singers, rappers.
So how
things
would
like that.
people then listening now then who thinks, God, this sounds good? How would they contact you then? What's the best way to get hold of you guys? And
So we've got our website, which is www.
Both of them.
We've got elevatedstudios.co.uk, which is the studio, and we have elevatedexcellence.co.uk, which is for the workshops and schools, community centres, people who are interested in the workshop side. And then we also
Do you
have,
guys have a phone number at all, or is it just?
we do.
Or is it just? Do you have a WhatsApp group or like
we
that?
do, we have our numbers. So
Our numbers.
So we have 07495 193 695 and
Our mine's is 07515 265 912.
and you
So
can
there you
catch
go,
us
yeah.
on WhatsApp or give us a call or whatever, and we can arrange to arrange to maybe have a
So
Teams
anybody
meeting
listening
or-
who's wanting to get down that music route, then they can obviously contact you via their methods. And to be honest with you, you guys have done quite a few workshops here, haven't you? And they've always been pretty well attended.
They have.
And we've had, the young group sessions
Yeah.
and then the adult group sessions. We've tried different things and, they've actually been pretty good. And the feedback's always been good. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's always good to it. It's really versatile as well.
It's always versatile.
I remember that one time we had the lady who was doing she was part of the horse racing college.
That was amazing.
And she wasn't even anything to do with music. She just loved horses, but she wanted to put her own compositions together for the horses to dance to. Yeah, as a routine.
Was that here?
And that was here, yeah.
Yeah, it was here.
So
Oh,
she was like late 60s, early 70s, I think she was.
You know what? I'm not.
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about,
Yeah.
Wendy.
Is that who it was?
Wendy. Yeah, she does dressage. And
By the way, we're not saying age. To me, she looks 20.
21 yesterday.
She's 21.
So Wendy, if you're listening,
Wendy, you look
these guys
amazing.
thought you were 21. You know what I mean? How cool is
I
that?
always thought you were 21, Wendy.
'Cause I thought she was about 25. So But
Yeah. So she wanted to do the like putting compositions together for horses. And she came onto a workshop where the majority of the demographic was like anywhere from 18 to 30, and then we had a few older ones as well. So it was nice to see such a big age range and such a a big versatile range of what people wanted to do as well. So there were people who wanted to design sound for video games, things like that, or films, adverts. Then there was people who wanted to be DJs and DJing clubs, like what me and Courtney do on a weekend.
I remember we had a couple
of
of teenagers who come in who, in fact, actually, there were some teenagers, but there was some who were in their early 20s as well who were fascinated about how to put music together and how to, to make the sounds work. And I mean, I don't know much about that side of it, but there was very, into what it were. But what the good thing is when you did a follow on them workshop, they came back as well because clearly they enjoyed it. From the other sessions that you
like to give a big
Yes.
shout out to Chris because Chris has been coming to every single one of our
he has, yes,
workshops.
yes,
And to
big
be
up
fair,
Chris.
he's done an amazing work. He's come in, done the DJ side, and he's made sure he's done the music production side as well. No matter what, he's trying to keep involved in everything we do. Ironically, I'm going to tell you the story because I don't know if Mick's told you.
Yeah.
Chris come down on the day he didn't have the workshop.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay.
That's how much you loved it.
Yeah.
You came here and you didn't even have a workshop going
And
on.
what's lovely about it as well, it just, I think, to be fair, it's it pays compliment to how Courtney is as a person.
Yeah.
Because Chris used to be one of Courtney's students.
He was my student.
when he was a teacher in a school, and then when his mum found out that he was doing music production stuff and music and DJ skills. His mum was straight away like, right, we need to get him into this because one, he really likes Courtney and the way that he teaches and the style because he's got that upbeat, passionate way of delivering.
Yeah.
That
Upbeat,
you
it's more chilled. I'm going to say.
I say
was
that.
like, yeah,
I say that, but some-
I do have a balance. A
The thing
balance
is, it
works
looked
out
up
for
to
me.
you though, Courtney. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Clearly, you've been a good role model for him, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you
I've done
think about
something
it
right,
because
though.
you've been helping along.
That's it,
all
yeah.
the time he's been coming along to your sessions and like you say, doing the tutoring side with
done
stuff.
something right out there.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
it's-
But I think that's the other thing as well is with you guys, you really are approachable and friendly, and I think you make people feel comfortable straight away. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, well,
There's no judgment in anything or all like that, and
Yeah.
and that's what makes I think it different. You don't because you guys, your knowledge is obviously way up there. You know what I mean? So when you think about it, when you've got guys who are coming on or people who are coming on, they could technically feel a bit intimidated by by you guys knowing what you know. But because you're not like that and you're not
No.
big-headed about what you do, where some people can be, that you straight away just bring yourself down
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
levels
there's
of
no-
other people. Do you know what I mean?
At the end of the day,
Completely
there's-
agree as
yeah,
well.
yeah. Well, that's
There you
because
go.
you've
So-
done and
Hello, Rowan. Welcome back.
Rod and Rowan,
I'm back.
Warren up like so.
I'll
but-
spawn back in.
you've been there, Rowan, haven't you? Because you've actually attended some of the sessions when we started doing here, really, haven't you? So
Oh, bloody hell.
Oh, someone forgot to put it on
Oh,
silent.
bloody hell. So, they
always
don't say
that
before we started, make sure phones are off. Do you know what I mean?
Unbelievable.
So I know. There's always one, isn't there?
Yeah.
Sort of like ruin. Sorry,
You know what?
man.
I will say this,
Yeah.
because we've worked together for what, 2 years now.
Oh, yeah.
We've known each other longer.
We've known each other longer, but technically we've only been established for like 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. So
And
Yeah, 'cause it's 2 years you've been sort of doing things
Yeah, pretty
here.
much.
So it's like,
But I will say this: we work to each other's strengths, and I think because we have got that sort of partnership where we know, oh, if I can't do this, Kelvin's better at this. We'll keep Kelvin. You keep to this, and you're like, all right, cool. You can do this because I know you're better at it. And it's kind of worked out. I think that's how we kind of survived as well. You know what I mean?
oh yeah.
And trust me, when I mean by survive, we've had a lot thrown at us. A lot.
are you talking about when you say a lot thrown at you? Are you talking about like with the CIC side of things as well? And you
Yes.
know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Because people who'll be watching this now, and people who see what we're doing and stuff, I don't think people realise actually what we have to go through, things we have to do, you know, the stuff we have to deal with behind the scenes and trying to sort things out, and the work that goes into things. It's a lot, and it can really make you sometimes, you know, start questioning what the hell am I doing?
It's not.
It's not easy, is it?
No, it's
So-
not easy, but it's not.
But when you do start feeling a bit down, you only need that one person, don't you, who said
Pretty much.
how much they appreciate what you've done or how you've helped them, and then that's like that sort of like little injection of like happiness of like, oh,
that's why we do it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I just want to say it like this, 'cause I don't know if you're going to agree with me. Both of you are going to agree with me on this one, but it's like having bipolar. One minute you're like, yes, it's going so well, and then you're in a corner crying like, oh my god, what's going on here?
Welcome to my world. So
Yeah.
I think having that experience of doing this for 2 years now, what I've noticed straight away is, even though there's a downer, there's something what kind of boosts you up.
Yeah.
Like you'll have a moment when you're just like, oh, this is getting too much. Oh my gosh. And then you look at, like, I know we've both been in a situation where we're looking at both our partners, and I'm going to my wife like, sorry, babe, we can't do this tonight because I'm skinned.
Yeah.
And then and then the next minute we get some phone calls from different companies, whatever, wanting to work with us, and we're like, it's back on again, babe. Yeah, let's go.
Do you know what though? That what you've just said is really important, because I think a lot of people look from the outside in, don't they, and thinking, "Wow, you're doing so well," and thinking you're all on these big salaries and everything's like swimming. They don't realise, you know,
A lot of
like you
what
say
you-
that the finances of it. The times you've got no money, and you're thinking, "God, how long can we keep going?" And but. You keep going because you're not doing it for yourself,
No.
if you know what I mean. There's no financial gain from it.
No.
You just keep going because you know that the people it's helping and how much people like the sort of things you're providing, but they don't realise how hard that is.
Yeah, and going back to what you said about, you know, people being intimidated by, you know, people having knowledge on something and thinking, well, you know, where am I going to start? Because I'm just getting started and these guys have got all this knowledge. The way I always see it is like every day is a school day. So no matter how much
100%,
knowledge you have, you know, there's going to be people out there that know certain aspects of what we do better than we do, and vice versa. But there's also, that's where I think it's a real strong point, and we're, you know, open to saying this on this podcast as well, is to collaborate with other organisations, whether they're in music industry like us. You know, it's not about standing on each other's toes. It's about finding a way that we can collaborate where they might use a certain organisation to deliver this part of a project.
Exactly what we've
and then
done.
we do this
You know,
part of a project. And then, you know, so anybody out there who wants to collaborate with us or So Mindful Crafts, I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to say that, Mick.
Yeah,
You know, get in touch and we will figure out a way where we can make sure that everybody can be a part of something which is really going to make a difference.
Yeah.
And I'm a big believer, I think I've said this in the last podcast, that I'm a big believer that you have to do things as a pack rather than being a lone wolf.
You did. You mentioned
You can't do it by yourself. And the thing about it is, we've said this, without Kelvin, there's certain things I can't do. And now we've got other people on board helping us as well. So we've got Jason Betts, what comes in. We've got our other directors as Dom and Matthew, what's coming to help us out. And they've all got different backgrounds, what are beneficial to our company. So one person runs charities around Manchester. I've got another person who used to run charity for a church and also is a music producer. So he helps out Kelvin on his side.
So we get all these bits of advice that all come together. And that's when we start to pass ideas.
That's it, yeah.
You know what I mean? It goes round a panel and it's like, right, is this actually going to benefit the community in this way, in that way, in that way? So then only the best ideas actually get forward. And what we've started doing now is including members of the community to make sure that the communities we're serving, it is actually benefiting.
Yeah.
You know, and getting their voice.
It's only like us here now, you know, you have to think, you know, all our volunteers that we have here and you know, tutors and things like that are all giving their skills and passing them on to people who are coming along. Without, you know, the team that we have, we'd be nothing, you know what I mean? Because I can't do all of that. That's beyond me, all them workshops we've been doing. My side of it is the bones bit of it, where I do all the, you know, the running side of things and the, you know, and all the stuff what people don't see. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not there, you know, delivering any workshops as such, other than the total beginner workshops, but I don't know any others. So you have to think we've got people here every day who are, you know, sharing their skills that they have and helping people who come onto the workshops. You know what I mean?
And
so
we appreciate every single person who's actually helped us out, because especially this year, we've had a lot of people coming to help us out and doing stuff like with the funding side of things and everything else. I've actually, and even for advice. Sometimes it's just nice to be able to have a conversation with someone who's going through the same situation that we are and going, look, this is how I got out of it. This is my suggestion.
Exactly.
And we're like, you know what? We'll take it on board. And then that's everything, even for the little things like someone telling us, oh, how do you do invoices properly? I'm like, you know what? Now you've told me that, I've took that on board and we're going to change things.
And I think that's a good takeaway as well, is, you know, for anybody out there who's looking at maybe even setting up, you know, a community interest company or something similar. It's not, we're not going to say it's easy. It's definitely not easy. We've agreed that.
Definitely not easy.
But there is help out there. And if you know, network with the right people, it is very possible. And if there is, you know, a bit of a gap in a certain need, then, and they can fill that need, then, you know,
well, that's the thing behind
this. Hear of these things popping up.
That's the thing behind this podcast, because at the end of the day, with this podcast, there'll be people who are listening to this who might be thinking, you know, I've got time on my hands, I know about this, who might then want to come forward to help, you know, out, whether it were you guys or help with us or anything else. And as these podcasts keep rolling out every week, you know, the idea is we're going to have different people, you know, on here talking about what they do, anybody who might be needing any help, you know, and stuff like that. So this is how this will sort of keep growing, and, you know, we'll build listeners, and then obviously we want to listen to what people want us to talk about. If there's anybody who's got any particular topics where they might think, oh, could you talk about this or that, and or somebody wanting to come on, like I've said earlier, and wants to talk about what they do, any organisations, businesses, anything. The idea behind this is just a community podcast. We're starting it off, so we're hoping that as we're starting this off now, you know, this will sort of organically grow and be a source of information for the community.
I was supposed to bring up a recap of actually last episode, so your first episode. How do you think that's gone, like, so far?
Do you know something? It went better than I thought, because I honestly thought
that's
it's our first one putting out, and as you well know, we spent months of trying to get it right, didn't we? And when I'm saying trying to get it right, you know, as we touched on before, the equipment, the software, the tantrums, the sort of like, you know,
I think we just sort of that in brackets to issues.
Yeah,
issues.
I actually got to a point. I know Rowan's keeping quiet with this. Do you know what I mean? But Rowan's been sat there having to deal with.
Oh, Rowan, I'm coming to you next.
So, but it has been hard, and it's got to a point, and a couple of times where I thought, you know, we're not doing podcasts now. It's just far too difficult. We're not doing it. And I were really thinking I couldn't see light at the end of the tunnel. But like anything we do here, you know, we just kept at it.
Resilience.
Yes.
And
we got there. We got that first one out. And like we said on that first one, that was like a start for us. We're going to learn each week. We're going to hopefully get better. We'll have more people on. These will become, you know, more and more popular, and, you know, it'll be good fun. But going back to, you know, that question with that, yeah, it went well. We've had a lot of views, and from it, we've had a couple of, we had a newspaper from Sheffield who've doing a little bit of a feature now on us and about this podcast. I've had other places and emails who've contacted us who were like thinking, you know, this is really good what you guys are doing. We think you've got something big here. Can we be a part of this? So I think, in all honesty, this is only number 2. You know, we're going to keep going with it. And I do think that, you know, it will get better. And I think more people will start to get on board, help us with things. And it'll just become a really good source of information, but also a laugh as well. I want it to be like, each week coming on, it's people look forward to listen to it, and it just keeps it real. You know what I mean? And it's not all rehearsed. It's like today. We've not sat and rehearsed any of this, have we? We've just like now, we're just going with flow. You know what I mean?
Trade
Sit
secrets.
down, have a chat.
I'm going to say trade secrets, guys.
Yeah.
I've just put some bullet points on some paper. I'm going to lie.
Yeah.
This is how it is.
Yeah. So, it's just real. We're just we're just going for it, aren't we? At the end of the day, we're all right. We can do what we want here now because the work just goes then to Rowan. He's the one who's going to do all the editing. And,
Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
So welcome, mate.
So was it a bit of a relief then? Now you've got the first one out of the way.
Oh,
On to
yeah.
the second one.
Yeah.
Now you're like, oh my God, it's just done. Thank
Yes,
you.
it worked. I think if anybody who listened to our first podcast would have sensed that slight release at the end, relief at the end when we were all like, yeah, we've done it. And then we played our song, which by the way, that song that we put out, has received really good feedback. People have really liked the sound of the song, which Rowan's working on a bit of a video now with, and we will be putting that out soon where it's just the song and people can watch the video of it about the Thursday night groups that we do. So it's it's all good. You are.
It's really a commercial. A commercial ad.
Yeah.
It's running ads.
Yeah. Hey, that's when you should say that actually, because when our podcasts were out on Facebook, the one that we put out, we had somebody who said, I'd listened to all your podcasts, and then just as they started listening to the song, an advert popped up. And I'm like, why's adverts popping up in our... I hadn't... they're not to do with us, so it's like, so I don't know where they come from. Do you know what I mean? She went, we're just getting into the song, and then all of a sudden an advert started playing. So, but it has had a lot of views. I mean, we've had, I think in 24 hours, we'd sort of had knocking on over 3,000 views, on the podcast, if you know what I mean. Obviously that's gone up now, and, I think that's, pretty good, really.
Shabby at all.
Obviously it's a bit more now, but... But yeah, so...
I'm going to say we've had artists what are big names. Yes, I don't think of quotes on purpose.
Yeah.
What are not even reaching 3,000, 4,000. And they're still quite big name artists. So
right. So is that good then? No?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah,
24 hours. That's
yeah. So thanks guys. Anybody listening out there, who listened to our first podcast, thanks a lot. So
We're going viral.
Yeah.
okay.
So
let's get someone else value. So I haven't got some other words there. Don't matter. So let's talk about you.
Viral. Let's get
I said Bamble.
Yeah.
I'm like, Bamble. What?
See, that's how real it is.
That's how real it is. It's not messing up.
Yeah, I'll stay in it.
So, Rowan.
Hello.
So, people are going to see your face for the first time.
Unless I've been in,
Yeah, there you go. Unless they've been in,
a lot of people now viewing this. Do you know what I mean? So it's like no pressure. That's all.
All it is. So, want to know a bit more about you, bro. Like a bit more about you. Just your background. What's going on?
Well, I'm currently watching the waveforms for these old 4 mics as we speak.
Are they good?
Yeah, as far as I can tell.
No peeking.
No peeking.
Oh, we're good.
And if there are, then I'll worry about that later.
So all I know about you so far, bro, is really that you like pot noodles.
Yeah. Right.
This
By the way, this whole podcast was on
delayed.
hold while we all sat here watched Rowan eating his pot noodle till we could start.
It was like real life ASMR.
Didn't bother recording that.
I told you we recorded it and you were eating.
Yeah.
You got another avenue, ASMR.
It's the slowest I've ever seen anybody eat a pot noodle. It was like literally a noodle at a time on his fork, and then a pea, and then another noodle, and we were just all sat here like, right, Ron, are you going to eat that pot noodle now so we can get started?
Gonna give Rowan a little post edit challenge here.
You're putting me off.
Insert Rowan eating pot noodle here.
If you've got footage of it, I'll put it in. Why not?
We get the footage of the pot noodle.
Why not?
So you've got a bit of an editing background yourself, though, haven't you? So you've done quite a lot of video editing, again with music production as well.
Oh, we're talking about that live and direct.
Bit of both. Man.
Okay, I dabble.
Your passions, hobbies, and what's led you to be part of this team, I suppose.
The life of Rowan.
Right.
Yes.
It's a segment now. We've got to talk about you.
Christ. Put like a jingle on it.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I'll just put a big bass on it.
This is why Rowan's been so quiet because this is the point now where it's like, oh my God, this is just awkward. I don't want to talk about that. But
right. Anyway, so college and uni did editings. Uni, I did sound and editing, but I did sound mainly. And then left uni, went a bit wrong. I'll not elaborate. And then I was informed that Mick needed a videographer dude
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Dude.
And now he's part of furniture.
I've been here since. I'm a veteran. I've seen it all.
And I think we did. I don't know if we mentioned it first podcast. Did we say that you
mentioned my name in it.
I'm getting confused what we said in first podcast because we've done that many, recordings.
This is if you're counting every single recording. This is about podcast 312.
Exactly. Yeah, we are probably well at 300. So, but we have only then released one. So, so I'm like get a bit thing of like what did we actually put out there and talk about? But we mentioned before that you was actually our first volunteer at So Mindful Crafts.
First
First ever volunteer.
Wow.
And it's still here now. You know what I mean? He used to come 2 days a week, didn't you? But now you come, sort of 1 day a week at the moment. But
Permitting.
yeah. And
Also.
now it's because we've got the podcast up and running. It was always an idea to do. It's always been something we've wanted to do, but it's just not a thing that it just happens overnight, and it's took because we've got so many other things going on. It's just we've just tried to get there, then we get put back on shelf for a bit and what have you. But we're here now doing it. Do you know what I mean?
There you go.
And this has now give Rowan a purpose on this side for doing the the podcasting side of it.
You're doing what you love.
Yeah.
You're doing what you love. And I think when you look at all of us, we're doing what we love. Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Even though times get hard sometimes.
But even I know, Mick, that you like working with people. In the
I
community.
do. I do love. What we
I
do.
can see your face.
I just wish I got paid for what I did, but that would make a big difference. Do you know what I mean? But having said that, I'm doing it for the love clearly now. So yeah.
So
I think that as things build, for all of us, I think as things build, you'll see a difference when it comes to terms of finance, in terms of enjoyment and stuff like that. I think everything takes time.
It does. Well, we're into our 4th year now, so we've done something right. But I'm just hoping that we just need that. It's just the finances all the time. It's always about the finances. You're just constantly chasing funding bids, going in for putting funding bids in. You're up against then so many other CICs and charities, etc.
Who can do it a slight bit cheaper
and then
or whatever.
it's not so much that. It's just about. It's the impacts and things like that. And I just think, as you guys know, we record everything we do. We make such a difference and we've got all the data to back everything up. But it's just convincing panels sometimes, you know what I mean? And trying to get out there. I think that every time somebody comes here, they're always amazed at the setup and how we do things here, which we can never get across on a Facebook post. Do you know what I mean?
No.
And every time somebody new comes in this building, it's always like, oh my God, I didn't think you were set up like this. I didn't think you guys, it were like this. It looks nothing like that, from the outside or, I've seen your Facebook posts all the time, but they don't do it justice. So it's, you know what I mean? It's difficult.
I want to say, do you know, like we started obviously with this podcast now and doing things like this and obviously moving into this digital age sort of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I think another job, you're welcome, Rowan,
Cheers.
for someone like Rowan, would be to maybe look at doing, like we spoke about at the start, like reels, YouTube shorts, TikTok videos, really short things of just literally, what is it like as someone who attends a workshop for a day at So Mindful Crafts? Right, you come in the door, this happens. Someone walks round and gives them the tour of where things are set up. Then they can see almost like a virtual tour.
You see, all that stuff's great, but it takes time. It's like with me now, I do our Facebook post, putting stuff on website, doing everything. And I'm doing all the hours I do here in the week. And then the only hours I'm doing at home, because literally when I get home, then sort of worn out, I'm then like, right, we need to do this and this. So I'm doing it then at home as well. And that, like we're on about with Rowan and doing all these things and on that side with the video side and editing side with stuff. And it is a full-time job, realistically, which we're all trying to cram into 1 day a week when really, but we don't have the money to be able to say, right, this is a full-time job for you. It's like the same with everything we do here. There's lots of things that we do here that take a lot of time and your volunteers help brilliant. They do as much as they can. But we have so many job roles where we could give people full-time work, if we had the money to pay them full-time work. So we have these barriers all the time. So if there's anybody listening out there who's working in anywhere or has access to, anything where they could think, I think we guys could help you. It's like, God, anything. Just, we can only do what we do through money. And you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, it's difficult, and you guys know that. It's the same for you guys, isn't it?
100%.
So
We do, yeah.
We're going through it, but
Yeah, there's-
at the same time, we're having positive outlooks. I'd say at the minute, aren't we?
Oh yeah, no, it's always
We are having positive
about
outlooks.
taking a negative and looking at how you can turn it into a positive.
Exactly.
That's very much the work that we all do. I think
Exactly.
So, but it's looking at like at the minute, we're wanting to put something on regularly at the studio for people to come in groups and learn something.
Yeah.
But then we're just at the minute trying to find out ways to make that viable through
Yeah.
funding, through various sponsorship, things like that. Because there's a lot of demand for it, but we can't supply it at the moment. So it's like just figuring out that. But when we figure that out,
A lot from education
it'll be-
side of things as well. I learned something massive yesterday. So I was at work and because I work in education, and what was said when I was talking to the music teachers, we need a studio. We've been looking for studios for years, and we had to go all the way to Huddersfield, all the way to Sheffield, all the way to Leeds. I'm like, there's a studio. Yeah, wait, hold on. So having a conversation with a lot of head of music and people in the music departments in quite a few different schools, it's been the same sort of thing. So we've looked at that sort of market and gone, you know what? You want to take a tour of a studio, just get a bus down the road.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a 2-minute trip. Like at Ridgewood where I work now, it's a 2-minute trip.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? It's getting the word out there to people. I think going back to the podcast side of things, I think that's what this is all about. It's just that other outlet and another outlet, to give people a bit of a voice to get out there what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's the key thing with it. So I think we've sort of touched on a few things today. Now we've spoke about you guys. We've explained a bit about what we're doing there. I think to sort of like start wrapping this round 2 up. You know what I mean?
Round two.
I think anybody who's listening to this podcast or who's managed to stay on long enough to still be hearing what we're saying now, you know what I mean? Then it's like, drop us a comment. You know what I mean? Send us a message. If you want to appear on our next podcast, if you want to come along, if you've got anything coming up, any events, you've got an organisation, you're just starting out or you've been established for a while, any businesses, small businesses, large businesses, just anything going off with councils, anything going off with NHS, anything that anybody wants to come in and talk about, we want you guys here, don't we? Because we want you
100%.
sat here with us, and then we can, let everybody know about what it is that's happening coming up.
So
This
no
is-
song outro this week, no?
We ain't got a song for this week. That's the thing. We've got to be careful here. We can't be having a song for every time going out, can we? Or something, do you know what I mean?
It only one-off, people.
And I don't think we want to play ours again. I don't think we want to keep hearing that. We're still.
Nick, I think you should sing some Village People.
what are you getting out there? Like? What's that? What's
Young man.
Oh, is that what that guy couldn't even make that tune out then? With it? So,
yeah.
concerned are you guys sort of know that song? So I think we've done another one now, guys, haven't we? You know what I mean?
have.
Please let us know what you think. You know what I mean? Because it was supportive last time, because when we put that first one out, I know we had hell of a lot of people listening, and we had a few people who were leaving comments and private messages saying how well it were, especially people who never left a comment but came into our venue were saying, "Oh, I've heard your podcast, absolutely brilliant." So it does encourage and it does help, when people do just give us a little bit of a shout out as regards to what they think of it. And trust me, I don't want people to be saying everything positive all the time. If anybody thinks anything different, then just let us know. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
It's like,
100%.
we're not going to take offence to anything. I don't get offended to nothing. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Hey, I'm all for critiques.
Yeah.
People could say whatever, and it's how you learn. I think you can't improve without someone telling you at least.
Exactly. And that's why it's
As
important.
long as it's not like blatant, just insults. And hate.
Yeah.
If it's constructive criticism.
Any keyboard warriors out there, people who did ball and want to be nasty, it's like, we're not talking about that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's, So that's it, I think, wrap it up. Because what you have to bear in mind now is Rowan's got to get this edited and done. You know what
Yes,
I mean?
and-
Everyone's looking at the screen like,
So Rowan's
Here we
only
go
been
again.
quiet in the background there because I sat there thinking, God, I've got all this to edit and do.
and
so,
the videos and the sound.
And then,
putting
and as you'll
sound
see
videos
first
together.
time now, obviously we've used video with it. So let's see how this
we
works.
have.
So, yeah.
Hello, video.
Yes.
Everyone give it a wave.
There we go.
I'm going to say you might accidentally see me pick my nose. I'm joking. It's all right, it's all right.
So anyway, that's it. So
Right,
it's goodbye
okay.
from me.
Goodbye from me.
And thank you for having us.
I forgot the ending of Truman Show, but whatever he says in that.
Yeah.